my father, he decided that he wanted to come here and buy a place and have a really great place for black people to go and entertain. Mm-hmm. So he bought the Cotton Club. Proud to say that he was the only black person who actually owned his place. He was not renting. My father was a person who wanted to own everything that he could, and he did. I was 5, 6 years old, and my sister was a year older, my brother was a year younger, and we would run in and out of the club. And he would come home and say, X was there last night. He'd name somebody, and we didn't know who he was talking about. 5 years old. I didn't know anything about Donald Washington or Billie Holiday at 5 or 6. But as I grew older, then I began to understand that these were living, colorful black entertainers who came to Tampa. And they performed mostly at the Apollo, which was a venue upstairs over the Rogers Dining Room, which was the Rogers Dining Room was the local eatery where you could get chitlins for 65 cents. And the expensive T-bone steak for $1.99.
Nowadays, you can't even get hot sauce for 65 cents.
And so what happened was the Cotton Club had a restaurant inside. You had to have on a coat and tie, and there was no violence was tolerated. People came dressed and ready to stroll on Central Avenue. And it was exciting because as a kid, we would see these people all dressed up every weekend, and we'd stand outside, and I'm telling you, they were sharp. You know that we dressed. And so it was just a joy to see it. And in the daytime, you could go from Cass down to Henderson. And there would be the Florida Sentinel Bulletin with Mr. Andrews, and a Cozy Corner with Moses White. And we just had such a wonderful time seeing black people own everything on Central Avenue. Anything you wanted to be in life, it was there, even though segregation was the order of the day. So as I grew older, I remember Bobby Blue Bland coming to the Cotton Club. After he had performed somewhere else, they would come there, get a meal, and at times get up and provide us with some music. But the joy of meeting James Brown, oh my God. And today, and when I met him, and he was always Mr. Brown. He used titles. You did not call him James Brown. You called him Mr. Brown. And I was Miss Joyner. And as I grew older, the relationship was maintained through Alton, Andre, and Gerald White, whose father owned the Palm Dinette and the Cozy Corner. And so Mr. Brown sent me a box of albums autographed, and I still have them today. But when I got to 11th grade, they had Ray Charles. So my mother said, I'm going to take you with me. And we showed up, and they said, you can't, she's a student. She can't come in here. This is for adults only. Well, we found a way. During that time, only black police officers could arrest black people. They could only arrest black people. So I knew all the police officers, and they were there at the armory guarding the doors. So when I showed up on the side with my mom, they let us in. And I got a chance to see Ray Charles perform in living color. And it was just wonderful as how old was I? 15, 16 years old, to see this giant of a man there. And I was, kind of hunchback because I didn't want my teacher to see me. But it was one of the joys of being a child of Central Avenue.